What is a 36-year-old man doing sleeping with a 12-year-old boy?
Michael Jackson, often referred to as the King of Pop, was one of the most influential and iconic entertainers in the history of music. His life, spanning from his early days as a child prodigy to his unprecedented success as a solo artist, is a story of extraordinary talent, immense fame, and enduring controversy. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana. He was the seventh of 9 children in the Jackson family. His father, Joseph Jackson, was a steel worker and former boxer, and his mother, Katherine Jackson, was a homemaker. The Jackson family's modest beginnings would provide a stark contrast to Michael's later life. At a very young age, it became evident that Michael possessed an extraordinary talent for singing and performing. He and his older brothers formed a group known as the Jackson 5 and quickly became local sensations. Whilst the group would find great success, it had been said by Michael that during rehearsals, they would be under constant threat of physical repercussions should they fail to meet the standards set by their father.
He was tough.
How often would he beat you?
Too much.
Would he only use a belt?
Why do you do this to me? No, more than a belt.
It is believed by many that the discipline enforced by his father may have had damaging effects on Michael later in life due to his sensitive nature. Despite this, Michael still hailed his father as a genius for being able to instill strict discipline to propel the group to stardom. After winning a local talent show, the Jackson 5 were signed to Motown Records in 1968, where the Jackson 5 would release hits like I Want You Back and ABC. Despite being the youngest of the Jackson 5, many proclaimed that Michael was beyond his years and was far more emotionally aware than others his age. As Michael grew older, he began to pursue a solo career alongside his contributions to the Jackson 5. In 1971, he released his first solo album, Got to Be There, which would showcase Michael's potential as a solo artist. Alongside creating music for his solo albums, Michael also took a role to play the Scarecrow in The Wiz in 1977. Whilst the musical film was a box office failure, Michael would meet Quincy Jones, who he would work with in the years to come to produce 3 of Michael's solo albums. In 1979, he released Off the Wall, which marked his breakthrough into adulthood. The album, produced by the legendary Quincy Jones, included hits such as Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You, resulting in 20 million copies sold worldwide and winning his first Grammy Award. However, it was Michael's 1982 album, Thriller, that transformed him into a global icon. The album was a monumental achievement, featuring a string of legendary tracks including Billie Jean, Beat It, Wanna Be Startin' Something, and the title track, Thriller. The album set new records for sales and remains the best-selling album of all time, selling an estimated 70 million copies. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Michael Jackson continued to release successful albums, including Bad, Dangerous, and History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1. He collaborated with renowned artists and producers, constantly evolving his music and image. However, during this period, Michael's changing appearance sparked intense media scrutiny and public discussion. He was rumored to have undergone extensive plastic surgery and was diagnosed with vitiligo, a skin condition that affected his pigmentation. Despite this, many still speculated that Michael had manufactured this condition and was instead ashamed of being black and trying to alter his skin color to be more white.
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help, okay? But when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
In 1987, Michael purchased property for $17 million, which would then become widely known as the Neverland Ranch. The Neverland Ranch was known for its extensive facilities, which included an amusement park with rides, a petting zoo with exotic animals, a theater, a private railway, and a grand mansion. Jackson had felt as though he missed out on many aspects of a typical childhood due to his early career in the entertainment industry. Neverland Ranch allowed him to create a space where he could indulge in his own childhood fantasies. Jackson was known for welcoming children, particularly underprivileged and terminally ill children, to visit and enjoy the facilities at the Neverland Ranch during his ownership. He saw it as a way to share his success and provide memorable experiences for young people who might be facing difficult circumstances. Amidst his unparalleled success, Michael would go on to be faced with a series of legal troubles. In 1993, he faced allegations of child molestation from a 13-year-old boy named Jordan Chandler. Despite the case being settled out of court with no criminal charges filed, it would mark the beginning of legal challenges that would continue to follow him. In 1994, Michael would go on to marry Lisa Presley, daughter of Elvis Presley. The marriage was met with fascination and skepticism, as many questioned the motivations behind the union. Whilst the marriage was short-lived and ended in August 1996, it is believed the couple did share genuine affection for each other during their time together and attempted to support one another during challenging times in their respective careers. Whilst the reasons for their split were not entirely clear, it was likely influenced by a combination of personal differences and the intense media scrutiny surrounding their relationship. However, only a few months later, he would remarry to Debbie Rowe, who worked as a dermatologist in the mid-1980s when they first met. Their friendship eventually evolved into a romantic relationship, leading to their marriage in 1996. The pair shared 2 children during their time together, Michael Jr. and Paris. Rowe's willingness to bear Michael's children through artificial insemination was a significant aspect of their relationship, and it was reported that she agreed to this arrangement to help fulfill Jackson's desire to become a father. This unique and unconventional aspect of their relationship garnered significant media attention and public interest at the time. Debbie and Michael maintained a high level of privacy during their marriage, and therefore, there is limited understanding as to why their marriage ended in 1999. However, it is believed by many that the union primarily focused on Jackson's desire to become a father, and it was perceived as more of a business arrangement than a romantic partnership. This lack of a traditional romantic connection might have been a factor in their separation. In February 2002, Michael would go on to have a 3rd child called Prince, commonly known as Blanket. Despite speculation, the identity of Blanket's mother remains a mystery, and it is Michael's mother, Katherine Jackson, who has parental custody of him, now following Michael's untimely death. Whilst it was evident Michael was a passionate and loving father, the infamous moment Michael held his son Blanket out of his window in an attempt to show him off to the world would begin to raise questions about Michael's capabilities as a parent. Many believed Michael did not have the mental capacity to look after his children due to his lack of awareness and childlike nature. In addition to this, eyebrows were raised due to Michael's desire to be surrounded by children, often leading to questions over his intentions. Whilst he believed his actions were pure, many were unable to comprehend the mind of Michael Jackson and found it indicative of something more sinister. These growing suspicions would only be heightened when in 2003, Michael faced a highly publicized trial on charges of child molestation involving a different accuser. It was said by close friends that the trial took a toll on Michael, and that despite the overwhelming support Michael received from friends and family, it had become a difficult period for Michael to comprehend. The trial lasted several months and ended with Jackson's acquittal on all counts in 2005. Despite the verdict favoring him, the legal proceedings would become a turning point in his life and have a lasting impact on his reputation. The controversies and legal battles that plagued his life further exacerbated his isolation. Accusations of child molestation and the subsequent trials created a divide in public opinion, leading to a sense of alienation from those who once revered him. The burden of these allegations became a heavy weight he carried in solitude. In his pursuit of privacy, he often distanced himself from even those who were close to him. His relationships with family members and friends were strained, and he increasingly turned inward. In addition to these legal matters, Michael's financial situation also faced challenges. He accrued significant debts, leading to lawsuits related to unpaid bills and contractual disputes, which ultimately resulted in Michael selling portions of his music catalog, as well as putting the Neverland Ranch up for sale in 2008 to alleviate his financial woes. Following these financial struggles, Michael would announce his comeback tour, This Is It. The tour was scheduled to begin on July 8, 2009, concluding in March 2010. It was originally arranged for 10 concerts, however. This expanded quickly to 50 concerts following huge demand from his fans.
These will be my final show performances in London. This will be it. This is it. And when I say this is it, it really means this is it.
June 25, 2009, in his rented mansion in Holmby Hills, Los Angeles, California, Michael Jackson passed away. The official cause of death was acute propofol and benzodiazepine intoxication. Propofol is a powerful anesthetic, and benzodiazepines are a class of sedative medications. Jackson's death was ruled a homicide, and it was determined that his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, administered the drugs that ultimately led to his death. Following a trial in 2011, Dr. Conrad Murray would be convicted of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison. However, would be released in 2013, serving approximately half of his sentence. Michael Jackson's death was a profound and sorrowful moment. The world lost one of the most iconic and influential artists in the history of music. His passing at the age of 50 came as a shock and was met with an outpouring of grief from fans and admirers worldwide. The circumstances surrounding his death, including the involvement of Dr. Conrad Murray and the administration of powerful medications, added a layer of tragedy to the loss. While his fame brought him wealth and adulation, it also trapped him in a gilded cage. Jackson's quest for privacy led to him retreating behind closed doors, away from the prying eyes of the media and the public. His seclusion was often seen as a means of shielding himself from the relentless scrutiny that accompanied his celebrity status. In the end, Michael Jackson's life was a tragic reminder of the complexities of fame, the relentless scrutiny of the public eye, and the enduring power of accusation. Despite Michael's philanthropic efforts and charitable work, demonstrating his unwavering dedication to creating a more compassionate and harmonious world, his legacy remains a reflection of the highs and lows, the adoration and condemnation that he endured due to his unparalleled fame.